Hi, I'm here at the end of Christmas Day to share a super special dress. Got a really cool ruched feature on the side that looks really amazing. The fabric, the print, I'm so happy. Hi sewing friends, I'm Karina from liftingpinsandneedles.com. Welcome to this channel that is all about sewing, limitless sewing. And before we get into this episode, I wanted to hope that everyone had a very special end of year, all the holidays, Christmas, all the holidays that you celebrate. I hope they were special. They're always special over here. With my family here in Chile. I only come once a year. I get to see them for a few days. Well, sort of like 5 weeks. It's an amazing time for us to be together. Anyway, it's Christmas. It's the end of the day. It's actually the 25th from wherever you're watching, most of you. But over in Australia, it's already the 26th, Boxing Day. And Pattern Emporium, which is an Australian brand, has their annual biggest sale of the year for Boxing Day. And this sale is the biggest because it's got a 30% off discount for the whole site. Usually the mini sales that happen when there's a new pattern release are only 15% off. So this is big. This end of the year sale runs through the 2nd of January noon, but this is in Australian Eastern Standard Time. If you're over here in this area of the world, it'll end on Wednesday night. So on the 1st of January nighttime, it'll probably end wherever you are. But it's easy to go to the website and click. You'll probably see at the top a countdown that will show you how much time you have left on the sale. 30% off, don't miss out. I'll leave you my affiliate link down below in the description box, as well as on top of the comment section pinned, easy for you to find. If you click on my affiliate link, it doesn't cost you any extra. I just receive a small commission back from the designer. One way I make an income creating helpful videos here on YouTube. The dress I have to share with you, of course, is from Pattern Emporium. That's why I'm mentioning the end of the year sale. This is called Entice Me dress. And there's actually a regular Entice Me dress, which is a really fitted dress. It's got a front that's cut on the fold. The back is composed of 2 pieces. Kate from Pattern Emporium loves to draft a horizontal seam when there's a fitted dress, and I think it's amazing because it saves you issues with sway back adjustments. There's no extra fabric in there. It's a curved seam. So you have a bodice seam and a skirt piece to compose all the back piece. So there is a seam there, and I love that. There's a mini length, knee, midi, and maxi length straight down. There's a crew neckline, which is higher, and then you have a mid and a low scoop neckline. There's a lot of options for how you do the sleeves. For the sleeveless options, you have 2. One is a wider sleeveless, gives you a little bit more cover here. That is what I've chosen. But there's also one that's a little narrower, cut away, closer to the base of the neck, where it would be a little narrower there. I chose the wider one. I usually go for more coverage. And then for actual sleeves, you have cap, short, 3/4, long, and then you have a flared, which is like a circle sleeve. Lots of sleeve options here. So that's the details for the regular Entice Me dress, but there is an add-on pack that gives you 2 different front options that are ruched. I love that. One of them has just one side ruched and the other side normal, and then the other ruched option is just a longer front piece where it's ruched on both sides, and it gives you a little bit of extra volume there at the front. I wanted to do that's just ruched on one side. I think that's really cool, so that's what I decided to do. For these add-on packs, you just get the 2 front pieces. You would use the same back pieces, neckline pieces, sleeve pieces, all the pieces from the Entice Me dress. For the Entice Me dress, you can use a lot of types of fabrics. You can use double brush poly, rayon spandex, modal spandex, bamboo spandex. I would probably wear a slip underneath if I use those fabrics. I'm not that much of a fan of those fabrics, but it's not that you can't use them. It's just that I don't prefer them. ITY is lightweight as well. I would also use a slip underneath. ITY would be perfect for the ruched options as well because it wouldn't give you all that extra volume there for those little gathers you're going to get on the side. Cotton lycra would be great for the regular Entice Me dress, but for the ruched options, I don't think I would go there. I think it would be a little bit too stiff and it would just be, yeah, it wouldn't drape nicely. That's what I'm trying to say. Same as ponte and heavier fabrics like that. For the ruched options, I wouldn't go there. But for the regular fitted Entice Me dress without the ruched options, that would be okay. You could use a sweater knit, you could use an athletic knit, you can even use swim fabric, and that is actually the fabric I've chosen this time. There is a shop in the fabric district in Santiago that sells tons of swim. I get dizzy. I go in there, there's like 100 rolls. And a couple of years ago, I bought a purple and black and gray print, gorgeous. They still had it when I went to that shop this time. So that is what I've chosen. No one's gonna know it's a swim fabric. It's not shiny, it's quite matte. So it just looks like a regular knit fabric, I would say. I think stretch velvet would look amazing for this dress as well. I think it would really, really show the ruching on the side, the way the light hits it. Velvet has that beautiful look with the light. You also have to remember to cut them all in the same direction though, because there's a nap. So that's something extra with stretch velvet. I think it would look amazing as a winter dress with a long sleeve option. Another type of fabric or look that you might want to try out. The sizing available is from 6 to 24 Australian. That goes up to a 52.5-inch hip. It's a fitted design. I would say just choose your measurements on the measurements chart, plot them down, and you will be fine. I chose a size 16, which matched my measurements perfectly. I didn't do any fitting adjustments, so personal fitting is basically choosing my size 16. And all the small thing I did was add 1 inch to the hem of the knee length option. I thought the knee length option that was the original one was going to be a tad short for me, so I added that extra inch. But that's so mild. That's such a mild fitting adjustment. And then just for personal preference between the mid and the low scoop, I'll show you a photo here of how that looks like. I just followed the same shape and just went up 1.5 inches and then just curved it up and met the same neckline on the top. Very easy adjustment to do. But then that means that you have to recalculate your neckband pieces because it won't be the original one that you have there for the mid or the low. It's going to be in between. But I'm so used to doing that. It's a non-issue for me. Remember, I have a full masterclass on neckbands and I show you that in detail. This is how that thumbnail looks. It's actually one of the most viewed videos on my channel. If you're interested in doing your own customized neckbands, have a look at that one. Here's my Entice Me dress with the ruched option. My neckband fits really nicely. I sew it on and I give it a light press. I never top stitch it because I think it can ruin the whole look. So I never do that. And here are my armbands here for my wider sleeveless option. You'll see when I show it on how good this covers everything. You don't see any armpit area here. It's very good. So that's why I like that option. I like to not be concerned about anything showing under here. So that's good. And yeah, very easy to put together. The low scoop would be a little lower than here and the mid would have been a little higher. So this is just a happy middle ground there that I was happy to do. And then the back has that seam right there that fits amazingly at the small of the back. The lower back fits perfectly at my waist height as well. You get 0 horizontal drag lines here from excess. It's just perfect. And then I have the ruching on this side right here on the left side of my body. You can do the ruching on either side. It just depends how you place your pattern piece on the fabric, whether you place it with the right sides up or the right sides down. In the end, it doesn't really matter. So that is how mine turned out. The ruching starts about 1.5 inches below the armhole area and then it goes all the way down. There's several notches to match it up. And then below the full hip, a little below that is where the ruching stops. When it's hanging here, it looks a bit messy. It looks like it doesn't make any sense. But then when you put it on, you get that beautiful ruching on the side. It's amazing. I love it. And then at the bottom, I just have a regular hem with a 1 inch hem allowance. Nothing going on with the hem. It's a simple dress. It was pretty easy to put together, but I find it stunning. It's just so stunning and I love how it looks. I only have it styled on its own. I'm a little compromised here with extra garments and bags and shoes and stuff. So let's just see it on with some shoes with a beautiful background though. Let's see. This is my Entice Me dress from Pattern Emporium, size 16. I used an option for the front piece, has an asymmetrical ruched area, part of an add-on pack. You can also sew a regular Entice Me dress, which is a fitted dress. There's a horizontal seam on the back of the bodice at the small of the back, beautiful fit. I love the asymmetry of these ruching details. I think it looks really pretty. There's also an option where you can ruch both sides. This is a swim material, nice and stretchy. The only fitting adjustment I made was to add 1 inch of the length to the knee length option of the skirt. That's it. Look how pretty the ruched side is. See how that horizontal seam at the back fits beautifully. No excess material there. The neckline is between a mid and a low scoop. I went right in between and I went with the wider sleeveless armhole option, finished with armbands, neckband, very easy to sew. Beautiful result here. Perfect depth, not showing anything if I bend over, and as always, the neckband is always so easy to sew. I just press mine. I don't top stitch these bands and I just leave them like they are. I think it looks much cleaner, much neater that way. Love the coverage of the neckline, the armholes and the overall fit. You can see that ruching gives you a little excess on the front, so it's not excessively tight around the stomach area, which is amazing. Feels great. And it looks really cool too. This was such an easy sew and I'm super happy to have it. I did film the basic steps of how to put this ruched option together. I'm doing the one with the ruching on the side. It's super easy. It'll be a very short sewing clip, so let's see. These are the back pieces for the Entice Me dress. So these back pieces are going to work for the regular Entice Me dress that would have a regular front piece. The front piece would be cut on the fold, so that won't change. There is a back bodice and the back skirt, and there is going to be a horizontal seam that eliminates sway back issues and extra fabric there. These are shaped seams. They're curling up now because of my fabric choice, but they are curved. It's going to fit amazing. And what I've got over here are neckband armbands because I'm doing a sleeveless version. I'm going to show you the front piece now. I'm doing the ruched version that's asymmetric. Okay, here's the upper bodice area, neckline, armholes. It goes straight up to there, but then it starts curving that way. This side seam over here is the normal length of the side seam that's going to match the back 1-to-1. This side seam is extra long and curved that way. There's a little mark below the armhole where you're going to start gathering. There's a little mark there that's going to match the waist seam of the back. There's another mark down there that's going to match the hip. And then there's another mark down there to stop the gathering. So there's going to be all this area here that's going to be gathered. This is what we're going to sew onto the back bodice. And it's going to make that beautiful feature, adding that little bit of extra volume all across the front area. I think it's really pretty. Here I'm serging together the back bodice and the back skirt. It's a horizontal seam, a little bit of a curve here. Seam allowance is 1/4 inch, and all the main seams of this dress will be done directly on the serger. Here I'm doing the gathering stitches for the ruched side. You'll see a little mark there, and then you mark on your fabric where to start. It's below the hip notch, and I'm sewing quite close to the edge, smaller than 1/4 inch seam allowance. And I'm going to do 2 rows just because it's going to make it easier. I'm going to do the next one at 1/2 inch. Before sewing the side seams, I'm just going to get these shoulder seams sewn out of the way. Remember the order of construction can change. If you are doing sleeves, then you do the sleeves on the flat if you want to, and then the side seams. I'm not doing sleeves in this case, it's sleeveless. And if I were doing sleeves, I would still do it the same and do the sleeves on the round and not on the flat. I'm going to sew the normal side seam first. This is underneath where the armhole is. You can see that little red mark matches the horizontal seam of the back bodice uniting the back skirt there. Going down, we have a mark for the full hip area, marks right there. And then it goes down and it's all 1-to-1. It's a regular seam, 1/4 inch seam allowance. And then the other one will be slightly different because we're going to need to gather the front to match the length of the back and match up all the reference marks as well. This is the other side seam. This is the armhole there. This is where the ruching is going to start. So up to there, it's 1-to-1. Then the next mark we have matches the waist seam right there that unites the back bodice with the back skirt. So we see all the excess that we have to gather in there. Then the next one are the hip references. Here's the excess. And then further below, we have a little more excess right there, because from the bottom, from the hem up, it goes 1-to-1 up to there. So now we just gather and make all this volume have the same length as the back, and then we sew it together. I love how this looks. I think it's so cute. The fabric for me is everything. And I think when you have a striking print like this, you can get away with a simpler dress. This dress is simple, but it has that ruching, so it's not that simple. It's amazing. I absolutely love it. I already wore it to church once. I did a little spin for you to see. Let's see it on here in the wild. Can't wait when I have it just made. I'm like, I want to wear it now. I want to wear it now. So I wore it for the first time just a few days ago and it made me really, really happy. Check out the Entice Me dress, the regular dress, and also the ruched option. I think it's a really fun option. I love the look. I'm a ruched kind of person. Whenever I see a pattern with some ruching, I'm all over it, just like I was all over this one. Remember the Pattern Emporium end of the year sale, 30% off, it's amazing. My affiliate link is down below in the comments and in the description box, and the sale ends Wednesday, the 1st of January at night, if you're over here in this part of the world. I'm gonna see you tomorrow with 2 more Pattern Emporium makes. And yeah, just watch out for that one. I'm super excited to share those as well. See you soon. Bye.